That's right. Welcome, everyone. It's Matt along with Goo. And today we're going to talk about the Winter Wonderland Festival, what's good, what's not, and what to expect. So stay tuned. So here's Santa Cristalinda. I will put the link to the more direct review on her down below. She is a very good unit that is our most strongest ice uh, magic attacker for sure, and probably our best crackle attack period overall for at least a little bit longer. But I personally feel she's just a little bit weaker than a lot of the other units that were just before her and going to be after her. So it's an interesting little dynamic, along with she's about to get her talent blossoming in Japan. And I will let you guys know what it is and is it good or not as soon as we get it. Her leadership, though, is top notch, increases spell power by 10%. Yes, that is White King's as well, but she is much more beefier than White King. And other than elemental advantage, a lot more useful as well. Her first skill, Mary Shower, is great. It deals damage to an enemy, occasionally reducing skill for 3 turns. Present for you, Sam spell damage to all enemies in AoE. Frigid Blade, heavy crackle damage to one enemy. Her first awakening isn't anything special. It's just reducing MP cost and increased power. It is necessary, though. Her MP is pretty high compared to what her maximum MP is, and these spells are expensive. She only has 2 movement, very good HP and defense. Uh, all in all, she is a pretty good unit. She can also counterattack. She does all of her spells do range of 3, and she has Salmon Crackle resistance with the Awakening skill. Overall, a pretty good unit that's going to get better. And if you really like her, she is really good. She is a pretty good improvement over Zoma, but I love my Zoma too much. So, several units here is Gold Golem. It increases inorganic defense by 15%. It's also got a much more detailed link down below. Its stats are pretty good, especially for an A unit. Its HP and defense are insane. It has the ability to increase spell resistance, and defense for 3 turns to itself only, though. It the +1 gives you a third movement, and all in all, if we ever get a selflessness scroll, this unit will become incredibly powerful. But until then, it is not the greatest unit. The attack and defense are pretty good, as stated. But the big thing is that these skills just don't do a massive amount of damage. The Megaton Punch can push units away, so you can kind of force the battle to move the way that you want to. The leadership effect increases an organic defense by 15%. It's pretty niche. It can be very useful, but pretty niche overall. All in all, not really super excited about the Gold Golem in general, at least right now. The free unit is one of the better names, Tree Throws, um, and actually has a lot of decent skills here. The annoying part about Three Throws is that uh, it does a lot of different things, but it really just doesn't do anything super well. Its leadership is just not good enough at reducing enemy attack power by 5%. Its stats are very low, other than its attack and agility. It has 4 movement, so it does move pretty far. But it is definitely a unit that can be one shotted. Um, the blast skill is surrounded. It does 105% bang physical damage to all enemies around it. Basically, the only time you're going to do this is try to clean up a large amount of enemies, or you're willing to sacrifice street throws. It should not be surrounded at all. It will die. Um, Kabuff is the second one, increases all the power of all units for 3 turns. This is actually a pretty nice skill. This might be actually the my favorite skill out of all three, um, and probably the most usefulness. But there are other units that do this better with other better skills on top of it. So it's not really the greatest of great. But remember, this is the free unit too. On the third one, Snowball Throw inflicts critical physical damage to all enemies, and it can occasional dazzle for 3 turns, and can send an enemy back 2 spaces. This is actually, as I say, it's a good skill. He it has good attack, so it can do some damage as well. And the sending an enemy back 2 spaces is fairly nice, especially if you can do it right where they can't then attack you. Then you can kind of keep it in limbo. But all in all, obviously, if you have the ability, get it to 5 hearts. But it's not the greatest thing here. What you're going to do is want to add an elemental attack here. And also with the first heart, it will counterattack with a snowball. And actually, snowballs are really nice. But it does a lot of, it's a jack of all trades. It just doesn't do anything very, very well overall. So it's one of those units where, if they tweaked it just a little stronger, it might be better. And if they ever do a talent blossoming of this, it could become a super good unit. So it's going to be kind of hard to really take a look at everything here and go, no. But it's the free unit. If you can, try to increase it as much as you can. There will be uses for it with the kabuff. And the snowball throw with the pushing is also pretty important. The attack is pretty good overall. It can be used. It's just not the greatest of all units that we've had. And once again, it's more of the disappointing units that I was telling you guys about a few months ago. We'll start getting some units again very, very soon that are top notch. So just to stick with it. And here's the Winterfest weapons and armor. The Snowman Wand is a good wand, Wisdom plus 22 with alchemy for frigid blade power, crackle spell power, and or brilliant. Obviously, the brilliant has 1 more%, but the power is just overall, which is a bit more useful. And wisdom. This is the weapon, obviously designed for Santa Cristalinda, and it is actually a very good one if you focus on crackle spell power for Zoma as well. If you want to spend it on Zoma, so has in multiple uses. Overall, it's a pretty good weapon and something that you should farm a little bit more than average, depending on which unit you want, because it is a pretty well designed wand. The only other is Santa's robe, which is more red tower. You can get both of them. I'm sorry, you can get the armor on both, but it's much more often on red tower. Defense 8, Wisdom 5, movement resist plus 8%. Alchemy, movement resist, whoosh spell, and normal resist, wisdom, and agility. Uh, Personally, I think the whoosh resist is probably the best one. If you want to really help yourself with the movement resist, that's fine as well. This is an okay armor, but armor's never been really an important part of this game. It's just always good for tweaking. Um, Now let's talk about this. So, as long as it's translated and with the pictures, it should be. The Christmas cards is what the currency of this event is. And actually, they're pretty nice looking, even though it's just a small little picture. There's 5 crystal tickets, and you're going to go, mad, there's usually 10. This event happened much earlier in the game than what we're getting it in Japan. So it might bring it up to 10. They're probably going to bring it up to 10. But in Japan, there was 5. And there's also other ways of getting tickets in this event that's actually fairly easy to get as long as you go do it. So it shouldn't, at the very least, even if there's only 5 to get in the shop, there will be at least 10 that we will be able to earn throughout. And it is fairly easy to earn it. So it's not really much of a quote, decrease or anything there, so don't worry about it too much. And 30 devil fragments at 100% for each as well. Um, so let's just go for the red and blue towers. This is pretty much all that we have there. There is a short little story as well, basically 2 chapters, 5 episodes. Each tower has 30 floors total. The red tower unlocks chapter 1, episode 4. Blue tower, chapter 2, episode 4. Uh, Floors 26 and above has 0 stamina. And once again, if the enemies are not buffed, most of these will be pretty simple. Some of the enemies can be, leaders can be one-shotted if we don't get a buff. Just an example, red 26, I think the one, it was a Draki that had 1,200 HP and pretty low stats, which is pretty easy to be one-shotted. So this could be a pretty quick and easy event for a lot of us if they don't buff it. Um, you can collect Crystal Linda medals, which are just the medals for like get a rainbow orb, or I believe it's the crackle spell. There is a one other item that you can get on floors 25 and below, though. This is where most of the action is going to be. There's gold golems all over the place, and so this is going to be an event where we can get some additional gold. This is probably going to be one of the best areas overall for that for a long time. And defeating these gold golems, and generally they appear from the 16th to the 25th floors. And for the most part, we're going to be farming floor 25 for the most part. Anyways, uh, if we defeat up to 500 gold golems, you'll get rewards. Most of the rewards stop at 300, which is a rainbow orb. And then 350, 400, 450, 500 is just, I think, 10,000 gold, which is still useful. But most of the rewards are before that. Like defeating 5 of them will get you a Crystalina ticket, etc., etc. 300 is demon orbs, 250 is the rainbow orb, 200 is beast orbs. So and those beast orbs are the for the level ups. So overall, they were pretty good rewards overall. Especially defeating a gold golems gets you a little bit more gold, anyways. So all in all, this is a good event in that regards. And if it is easy, then well, you just set it in auto and forget about it. But it is what it is. The red tower has tree throws, crystals, and the armor. And the blue tower drops the weapon for alchemy the most. So for the most part, we're probably going to be farming red tower first, tree throws, crystals. And then when you're done, you'll be just getting as much blue tower drops for the weapon for what you need. And we have one battle roads with tree throws. The new units are tree throws, Santa Crystalina, and Gold Golem. And we have Lime Slime, Walrus, and the others down below for old units. There's just the one battle roads. This event should last 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks overall. It is a pretty short but sweet event. I do like it that basically everything's within these 2 towers. They might give us a few boss battles to give us a little bit more entertainment, etc. But all in all, short but sweet event. So I hope you guys enjoy. Good luck on everyone. If you're pulling for Santa Cristalina, I will be, once again, I'm going to update her once we get any idea on what's the talent blossoming for her so that everybody knows. And I might even do additional polling if the talent blossoming is really, really powerful. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will be trying to get some more updates as the week comes through. But everyone, enjoy. And goodbye.